in this video I'll be talking about sensation and intuition, and it refers to how we take in information. In my first video I talked about introversion and extroversion, which refer to how we sort of get energized, where our psychic energy is towards where they are paying their attention to either externally or internally. And in this video I'll be talking about how we take in information. So we can either differ in primarily using sensation or primarily using intuition. We use both, but we have a tendency to use one of them the most before we turn over to the other one. So I draw a picture here, and just to demonstrate the differences between sensation and intuition. Now, sensation people, they look, let's say a scenery, they go outside, they look at the scenery, and they go outside, and that is sort of the picture we have. But sensation people, they tend to pick up the information that is primarily here. So they see the people there, and so that's sort of how they take in information. So they see the environment, focusing on the details. So they're focusing on the colors, they'll focus on the texture, they're focused on the shadings, and so on. But intuition is a bit different, because intuition, rather than focusing on this one, they start focusing on the larger picture. But what happens is that because they are focusing on the larger picture, what happens is that this sort of blurs out. Okay? So intuition start with a big picture, then they might move on to doing this. And sensation start with this, and later on they might move out to doing this. But these are sort of two very different individuals. Why I say this is because if you have a big picture focus in the world, doing this will tire you out. And if you have this view of the world, doing this will tire a person out. And that's why people that take information primarily through the senses, meaning smell, touch, what they hear, taste. If you give them, for example, a job in which they have to sort of think of the larger picture, think of the larger implication, it's not that they cannot do it, but it can go against their psychological functioning, in which that doing so, they can do it for a bit, but putting their head really wrapped on around this will tire them out. It will just make them tired, whether you like it or not. And the same with intuition. If you have an intuition and you give them a job where they have to focus on the details, it will also tire them out. And it's because intuition is really about forming relationship between different data points. It is information gathering to, in a sense, conceptual. They are more in tune with ideas. They are more in tune with different concepts. They are more in tune with the abstract world. However, the sensation are more in tune with the practicality. They are more in tune with the environment and what things really are. And that is why when I go through this administration process with people, sensing people or people has preferences for sensation, always ask me, but what's the practical application of the personality indicator? However, intuition don't ask me that question. Intuition are not interested in that, because intuition are already informed their own meaning of what, or even informed of possibilities in terms of what the personality assessment can provide for them. And that's just for, I think that's enough for now. And I'll make a second video which I go a bit more in depth